Welcome to another video. We're back with another budget deck, and this time we are playing budget prayers, voiceless voice. Alright, and what's the secret to playing voiceless voice? Well, the deck is extremely expensive, so the secret is buying all the URs, but I'm going to show you that you don't need to buy all the URs to play the deck. Alright, there is a viable deck list that only uses 3 URs. I'm not even crazy, alright? I'm not crazy right now. We're only playing one low. Prayers of the Voiceless Voice. Luckily, there's a lot of ways to search it. I'm going to show you some gameplay. We're going to go show you the deck. And yeah, this deck is a little bit different than playing the full budget version. So if you do want to play this version of the deck, you're definitely going to want to watch this video because I'm going to explain the kind of lines that you have available when you don't have all the URs. So right now, pre-preparation of rites, probably the best card in the deck. Searches your one of Skull Guardian, searches your ritual spell. Obviously, summoning Skull Guardian is the objective of the deck. In this position with low in hand, obviously we're going to tribute low. It's going to summon itself for free. It's going to activate, and then we get our Skull Guardian search with a chain block. All very ideal, all very nice. But things aren't always going to go to plan. Alright, but in this case, alright, we got the Saphra. So we're going to activate Saphra here. Saphra to the hand. This is our third UR, alright, for the deck. You've seen them all already. And we're going to get, what is this? Baby Saphra. Saphra, Queen of Dragons. They don't play this, alright, in the non-budget list. They don't even play this card, but because we're playing budget, this card very important. What does it do? You're about to find out. Let's search for, with Manju, search for a Saphra Part 2. And we're gonna ritual summon here. A nice little Saphra, Queen of the Dragons. We're going to go into a Dynamondo. Alright, very nice. Going to get us some additional value on the opponent's turn. We're going to activate our Radiance. Radiance Shuffle. And normally what you want to do with this is summon your Sovereign to the field, but we have Sovereign in the graveyard. And then this time I was not playing the second Sovereign, so yeah, I played 2 Sovereigns. Alright, end the turn. Saphra, the one nobody plays, triggers. During the end phase, you can either draw 2, discard 1, discard a random card from your opponent's hand, or add a light monster from your graveyard to your hand. So we're just going to make opponent discard a card. Opponent, Call by the Grave is gone. That's very nice, because if opponent had that, they were going to banish our Skull Guardian and we'd be cooked. So good job, Saphra. Alright, Luck Sack. Standby phase. Immediately, Dynamondo. Alright. Frightened. This is the most scary moment playing this deck, because every time you do this, there's a chance it goes horribly wrong. You lose your Skull Guardian, you don't get your low. Thankfully all's good. Alright, we get the low, we get the Skull Guardian, and that means we have an Omni Negate, and we have more than an Omni Negate, because Radiance lets us pop monsters equal to the number, or pop cards equal to the number of ritual monsters we control. We get 2 ritual monsters, that's a pop 2. Opponent playing Naturia. Get our search with the low here. And we're going to hold our Omni Negate for something important. We also have this Effect Veiler in the hand, all budget. Alright, this is from the bundle. We got the bundle only hand traps. Alright, only free hand traps. Opponent's Cricket, activating to summon from the deck. I don't think so. Skull Guardian Negate. Opponent, do you have any more tricks up your sleeve with your Naturias? They are also playing Horus. Alright, well, this Effect Veiler not looking too hot against Horus. We shall see what opponent can do. Opponent. Summoning, activating the Sarcophagus. Alright, now, we could wait until they activate the Sarcophagus, alright, to discard a card and send a Horus to the graveyard, but this Imseti is already in the graveyard, and if opponent summons Imseti before they discard, then popping the Sarcophagus is going to trigger the Imseti, and that's not very good. So I'm going to pop right now. Let's get popping. Pop Sunflower. Pop the Sarcophagus. Hope they don't have a second Sarcophagus. And we'll be good. We'll be good. Fully good. Opponent, Naturia's Blessing. Summoning back the Sunflower. And they always have the second Sarcophagus. I don't know how, but they always have it. Second Sarcophagus. Thankfully, only one Horus is here. Sending our Skull Guardian to the graveyard. Synchro summoning Naturia Barkion. It can negate trap effects. That is not a problem. We don't play a lot of traps. I mean, we do have traps on the field, but they're not. We can play around that. Alright. Drawing a Psyframe Gamma is a little annoying, alright, in this position, because opponent doesn't really have any cool monster effects, and we have a lot of stuff on the board, so a little awkward. Alright, one thing you could play in the extra deck is the Psyframe Link 2. in this position. You link these two into the side frame. I link these two, sorry, into the side frame link 2. Then when opponent activates their mole cricket, you side frame your gamma them. Nobody knows about the side frame link 2. What am I talking about? Talking about this guy. Alright, this guy. Alright, let's continue. Let's make an SP Little Knight. And we should have... No, this was right. Yeah, opponent, Naturia mole cricketing. We're going to activate. We're going to save our guys. We're going to save our guys. We're going to get them off the field. Now, we have side frame gear gamma. Opponent, Camellia. Negate. The secret tech. Banish your entire field to side frame gamma. The opponent. Opponent, Camellia is gone. Camellia be gone. That is going to trigger the Imseti. They're going to Imseti send our Guardian to the graveyard. And because we're playing budget, unfortunately, alright, we don't have any non-budget extra deck monsters here. Because if you were playing non-budget, you could Synchro into a 10, you could make Varan, you could pop the Imseti, you could attack into the Barkion, alright? But we don't have the Stardust. We don't have the Stardust big guy that makes you summon a tuner from the graveyard. So we're just gonna make Stardust Spark Dragon and hope for the best. Opponent, Mole Cricket is back. Mole Cricket is back again. Summoning the Mole Cricket. We're gonna pop that. And we got nothing. We got nothing. We got SP Little Knight, we got Saphra, we got Stardust Spark Dragon. Opponent discarding again another Horus. Alright, we're gonna banish this Horus. We're gonna take away your Horus, opponent. No Horus for you. We're in top deck mode. We gotta draw out of this situation. Opponent summoning happy. They're gonna attack into our Stardust Spark Dragon. He actually does have an effect. Quick effect. Target a monster this turn. It can't be destroyed by battle once. Battle card effect once. Alright, so we target our Saphra. Opponent sends. Opponent hurts themselves. We get Saphra back. Or sorry, we get SP Little Knight back. We draw the Manju. Manju gonna add the prayers. Prayer is going to let us ritual summon. That is going to trigger in the graveyard. The effect of Low. Low is going to summon itself. Back to the field. Return to us, Low. We need you. This is our time of crisis. We need Skull Guardianing. Draw 2, discard 1. Going to discard this effect. Veil. Our opponent's Horus monsters don't even have effects. Let's activate Blessing of the Voiceless Voice. Get back our Skull Guardian. A link 2 into the Dynamondo. Dynamondo going to shuffle a monster from our graveyard, a ritual monster into our graveyard into the deck to send a card on the field to the graveyard zone. I believe that is what he does. Shuffle both in the deck. My mistake. Shuffle it away. Let's activate SP Little Knight. Let's get rid of the Horus Imseti. That's going to send our cards. This one just shuffles cards from the graveyard into the deck. That doesn't matter. Opponent getting Cricket. We tribute Low. We summon the Skull Guardian. This was a mistake because we already activated Low's effect. Now we don't have our negate. Should attribute the Saphra. Alright, this is fine. This is fine. This is fine. We don't need negate. Skull Guardian activates. We get to add a monster. A Voiceless Voice monster to our hand. Or a Ritual monster. Opponent getting a bunch of Camellias. A bunch of Naturias. Getting back the King Sarcophagus. Getting back the Imseti. Alright, I'm not afraid. I am not afraid. We get Saphra. Opponent, Camellia. Sending a tree. Getting a cricket. We may have horribly messed this up, but I believe, alright? Because we still have a ritual monster in our graveyard. So we can use the Dynamondo to get it back. And then we can trigger the Low, and then we have our negate again. So all is good. All is right with the world. Opponent, you're down to just Horus. We're going to pop your Horus right now by accident because I'm running out of time. Alright, we're running out of time, but we're pro players. That doesn't mean, just because we're out of time doesn't mean we're going to mess up. Oh god. Alright, this one had not been ritual summoned. There's no way on the card, it doesn't say. So I thought it was ritual summoned, but it wasn't. We discarded it earlier. This is all fine. Alright, we have the SP Little Knight. SP Little Knight Protect. Opponent. Let's ritual summon. There we go. We did it. Saphra is here. Trigger the Low. Thank you, base blessing. Low is here now. We have our Omni negate. Opponent activate the cricket. We are going to negate the cricket. Cricket negate. We also still have the SP Little Knight. Opponent going to battle. Attacking, sending the Saphra. Attacking, sending the Little Knight. But opponent doesn't know. They are fully cooked. Making zombie vampire. Okay, maybe they're not fully cooked. Opponent, zombie, vampire, sending, happy, milling a bunch of cards. This doesn't matter to us, but they get mole cricket. End step. We get to add back a light monster from our grave to our hand, but we're running out of time. Gotta be very quick. Gotta be very quick. Drawing an Ashuna. Let's normal summon Manju. Get ourselves a Saphira, Queen of the Dragons. Link summon. Dynamondo. Send a card. We're gonna send this thing, King Sarcophagus. We're gonna trigger our blessing. Opponent gets another Mole Cricket. Mole Cricket, quick effect, special attributed, special summon and trigger from the deck. But opponent, you've left yourself vulnerable. You have left yourself very vulnerable. Zombie, vampire in attack mode. And we have a lot of bodies on the field. Opponent shuffling. I didn't even realize I had a shuffler in there. Shuffling our Low into the deck again. All right, Low, we don't need you anymore. You've done your job. Low, be gone. Let's activate this Guardian of the Voiceless Voice. Let's activate the Blessing of the Voiceless Voice. Get back our Skull Guardian. Go to battle. Attack. Boost. But for some reason, it wouldn't let me target this Saphira. Send this face-up card. Target a ritual monster you control. It gains attack equal to combined attack of all monsters on the field. I don't know why I can't target this. It is a ritual monster. But, alright, we'll hurt ourselves a little bit, and then we will deal lethal damage. Good game, opponent. Good game. Good game. Naturia's getting baked by Budget. Budget Voiceless Voice. But you want to know. You want to know all the Voiceless Voice plays. Let's go on to the next game. Alright. On to the next game. If you like this sort of budget content, let me know down in the comments. And you can subscribe to the channel. I'll be back with more. We got what looks like a complete brick hand. Or is it? Alright. We set this Radiant of the Voiceless Voice. This is a very important card. And I'll show you how to use it. Alright, when you're playing budget, you have to do budget things. When you're playing non-budget, you get to do amazing things. But in budget, alright, you gotta do some desperate things. Opponent, Springin's Booty. What we're gonna do here is we're gonna wait and use our Cypherm Gear Gamma first. Opponent, playing some sort of deck with Springin's. Merrymaker's here, we're gonna negate it. Negate the effect to send to the graveyard. Summon our Cypherm Gear Gamma. Gamma, get summoned. Alright, immediately after this resolves, we're gonna activate our Radiance. Radiance can do two things. It can shuffle a ritual monster or ritual spell from our hand or graveyard into the deck to special summon or add a Voiceless Voice card, or you can pop it and pop cards equal to number of ritual monsters. So we're going to use the first mode. We're going to summon Low. Low is here, and we're going to activate the Blessing of the Voiceless Voice. Now if opponent summons a monster, alright, normal or special, we can ritual summon. Opponent, that is a monster, you just summoned it. Skull Guardian, Protector of the Voiceless Voice is here. We got our negate, and opponent can't fight the negate. They don't even know we're playing budget. Let's go on to the next game. To the next game. Preparation of Rites is the not as good pre-preparation of Rites. Pre-preparation of Rites at home. But we can still get the Skull Guardian. We can do what we did last time. We got the Radiance. Alright. And we are playing the budget hand trap Nibiru from the bundle. Great thing about Nibiru, it is a light monster with a lot of levels, which means you can ritual tributing it. You can ritual summon tributing it. So we can Radiance here, get our Low, and get the normal thing, and then we can summon Skull Guardian just like we did in the last game. Opponent, Feather Duster. That is a little annoying. We're gonna Radiance here. And we're gonna have to shuffle back our ritual monster, which means sad days. Sad days. We didn't have any plays really, but we're gonna get this Saphira. Saphira's here in the hand to ritual summon again on the next turn. Opponent popping our impermanence, which is a bit sad, but we're playing against Labyrinth, and thankfully we drew our one of Ash Blossom from the bundle. Let's get drawn. Opponent, welcome Labyrinth. Get Ash Blossomed. Opponent responding with a big welcome, but not as devastating. Not as devastating as the regular welcome. Opponent gets the Lady. Lady comes back to the hand. Lady going to special summon itself, and no pops, so we get to keep our hand here. Stovey Torby activating the graveyard. Lady Labyrinth summoning itself again, and we got the Saphira, and we got a preparation of Rites to search for tribute fodder. Opponent just named excuse me. Opponent activating Mind Crush, checking the log, naming the card we searched for. So Saphira is being sent to the graveyard zone. Very sad. Also, opponent's never going to summon 5 monsters. Thankfully, Alright, we still got to play. Pre-preparation of rights. Activate. Search for the Skull Guardian, and the Sapphier can activate in the graveyard. Alright, so we can just activate it from the graveyard. Tribute our Nibiru. Get our negate. We got to search for the low. We know this is a trap that stops us from ritual summoning, but they can't activate it this turn. Let's get low. Get our negate. Activate the Radiance. Pop opponent's Lady Labyrinth. And we could go into the Dynamondo here. But if we do that, opponent flips this up, and then we can't summon ritual monsters. So that would lock us out of being able to do that. So we're not going to do that. Sadly, we don't have a ritual to shuffle into the deck. Opponent with the Lava Golem, stopping our plan of having a negate. Activating the Welcome to come back to the field. Activating the Labyrinth Stovi Torby to set a big welcome. We're going to activate Radiance right now. Shuffle back into the deck and summon our Sovereign. Should have probably done that earlier. Opponent, Welcome Labyrinth is here. We're going to activate Sovereign. Sovereign going to summon a ritual monster that's going to get low. Alright. Opponent, naming ritual on the dimensional barrier, so we cannot summon ritual monsters this turn. It doesn't say you can't ritual summon, it says you can't special summon monsters of the declared type. And it would negate their effects on the field as well. So we cannot do that. Opponent getting an Ariana Grande. Ariana Grande adding to the hand Lady Labyrinth. Lady Labyrinth's going to immediately summon itself. This is the draw phase. We cannot do anything. Opponent big welcoming. Activating the effect of Lady. We get to Pot of Greed though. Pot of Greed. Opponent getting a Dogmatic Punishment. Getting a Labyrinth Kuklok to the hand. Activating and activating. Meaning they can activate this set trap this turn. If they control a Labyrinth monster. Which they currently do. They control 3. Lava Golem going to hurt us. We're going to activate Pot of Greed. Banish a bunch of cards to draw 2. Pre-preparation of rice. This is probably the best card we could draw here. Getting our prayers, getting our Skull Guardian. We cannot summon them this turn, but what we can do is attack over this lady. Main phase 2, try and activate Sovereign so that we can special summon our negate on the opponent's turn, but opponent doesn't want to see it anymore. They disconnected their router out of rage. Love to see it. Let's go on to the next game. On to the next game. Alright, now our budget hand trap options are kind of limited. Well, we do have the non-budget, or the budget infirm from the bundle, and we have the Cypherium Gear Gamma, which is a very excellent card. Let's fire off the pot, protected by Cypherium Gear Gamma. Since we have so many ritual spells and all the other nonsense, activating our spells and then, activating Cypherium Gear Gamma after is a pretty sweet. Opponent, slapping us with the maximum C. Well, we got a surprise for you, opponent. We got the Cypherium Gear. Get negated, and opponent getting cooked. Alright, see, sometimes you're going to get the free wins. They don't know you're playing budget. Let's go on to the next game. Alright, on to the next game. We are going second. We don't have many of the hand traps. We have an effect failure. Opponent, playing Diviner. Does that mean they're playing non-budget Voiceless Voice with triple Diviner of the Herald, an ultra rare? Alright, that means that's what they are doing. So we're going to effect Veiler this and hope for the best. Effect Veiler. Negate the Diviner. Hopefully the rest of their hand is nothing. He's just a bunch of bricks somehow. Just a bunch of bricks. Opponent has Barrier of the Voiceless Voice. Alright, this is also an ultra rare. Unfortunately, this card is the best card in the deck after the negate. But because we can only use 3 ultra rares in my budget deck list, we can't play this card. But if you have this card, or you have the ability to get 4 ultra rares, this card really ties the archetype together. Alright, it really ties the archetype together. Opponent, show us how it works. They're going to activate their Saphra. They're going to search. Alright, they're going to Saphra, tribute, tributing the... Look at this, look at this. Tributing the Diviner on the field, and the other Saphra they had in the hand. That's why this deck is so expensive, right? Every card is an ultra rare. Getting the Skull Guardian, and that is going to activate the effect in the graveyard of the Diviner. It was tributed. They can special summon a level 1 or 2 fairy monster from the deck, which means they can get the low, and that is another way to get access to the low, which we do not have playing budget. Skull Guardian also going to search. They get the Sovereign, another ultra rare. What does this do? When your opponent activates a card effect that targets a monster, quick effect, discard this card, negate the activation, negating imperm, negating effect Veiler, negating any other effect that targets. Alright, very powerful. Low, getting the Radiance. They're activating the barrier. What does the barrier do? It adds to the hand a Voiceless Voice or Skull Guardian ritual monster. So they're adding to the hand. They are activating the Blessing. Getting back. Going into the Dynamondo. And unlike when we play, alright, their Dynamondo is going to be protected. Sovereign is here. Sovereign has a second effect when he's on the field. He says that when your opponent would special summon a monster, quick effect, return this card, negate, and banish the monster. Anti-hand trap. Alright, anti-hand trap the Cyframe. Alright, negate Cyframe. Low is back on the field. Opponent ending the turn. They got Dynamondo. We would need to draw Finger, which we don't have because it's not budget. But we're gonna try our best. Pre-preparation of rights. Opponent. They don't have their negate up yet, so pre-prep is gonna get our negate. And we got a sneaky trick, alright. Sneaky trick, extra foolish burial, which we are playing at 3. Let's ascend a monster from our extra deck to the graveyard. Alright. Which has a lot of utility. About to show that off. We're gonna add our Skull Guardian to the hand. And we're going to show off the extra foolish burial. Opponent gets their second low. This is, look at opponent's board. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Voiceless Voice Ultra Rares on the field. 1, 2 additional ones in the graveyard. That's more Voiceless Voice Ultra Rares than we have in our whole deck. Oh, again, the second barrier. Second barrier is actually pretty bad. We're going to, for us, I mean, we're going to activate Extra Foolish. We're going to send to the graveyard our Spicy Tech. Alright, because we're playing Extra Foolish. We got Fossil, Warrior, Skull Knight, budget card. Alright, banish this from your graveyard, target a monster on the field, destroy it. There's another one. Alright, there's another one. The other one pops back row. Fossil Machine, Skull Wagon. Banish from the graveyard, target a spell trap, destroy it. Alright, that's our secret tech. We're going to summon Tenyi. We're going to activate the prayers. That was kind of just to bait opponents one negate, or their Sovereign. Because we cannot activate the Fossil Warrior. Why not? Because this card has some flavor text. While you control low, your light ritual monster your opponent can't target your light monsters with card effects. So we cannot pop. We can't pop his negate. So opponent gonna negate our ritual summon. We have no more plays. They have a negate on their turn as well, showing off the power of the full non-budget deck list. Alright, opponent cooking us. But how is budget supposed to fight non-budget? Alright, just going second, just a difficult battle. But that doesn't mean we give up. We go on to the next game. On to the next game. We are going first. We got our Extra Foolish Burial. Let's get Extra Foolishing. Normally you're going to want to send the Herald of the Arclight. That's going to let you search for a ritual monster or ritual spell. We're going to get that Skull Guardian. We're going to activate our Tenyi. We're going to activate our Prayers. Tenyi is just being an additional body here. And it is a level 7 light monster, which is tribute fodder. Skull Guardian. Gonna get our low. We're going to summon low here. Get our Radiance. Radiance Shuffle. Get our Saphra. Saphra going to activate. Get our Saphra. We're going to activate Ritual Summon, tributing a monster on the field. Tributing our Tenyi Spirit. Probably should have tributed this guy, because he'll come back, but it's all good. Let's link into the Dynamondo. Activate Saphra, make him discard a card. This is the little Saphra, alright? This is level 6 Saphra. Saphra, Queen of Dragons.
You stand in the presence of Daenerys Stormborn of House Targaryen, rightful heir to the Iron Throne, rightful Queen of the Andals and the First Men, protector of the Seven Kingdoms, the Mother of Dragons, the Khaleesi of the Great Grass Sea, the Unburnt, the time to
Opponent discarded a mature Chronicle. They are playing Yubel. Yubel. We got the Dynamondo. We're going to get back our negate, get back our low. We got our Radiance on the field. And you might be wondering, hey, why didn't you set this? Alright, why didn't you set this Guardian? It's because there's some flavor text on Extra Foolish. It says, you can't set spell or traps the turn you activate this card. Not sure why they added that to this card, but it stopped us from setting. Low is back. activating the blessing. Opponent, Nightmare Pain. They're playing Yugioh. We're gonna take a big risk here. All right, we're gonna pop the Nightmare Pain in response to its activation to negate it. Get popped. We could have popped two things. We still have our Omni negate. Opponent, opening of the Spirit Gate. I am not gonna negate this. Dark Beckoning Beast to the hand. All we gotta do is disrupt them enough that they can't kill us. Nightmare Throne. Not gonna negate that. Samsara D Lotus. I'll negate that. Dark Beckoning Beast. Adding another opening to the hand. Summoning the Samsara. Samsara attributing to, what does it do? Special summon a Yugioh from the deck. Once per turn, activatable effect. We're gonna negate that. Yugioh. Be denied. Opponent has a Droplet. Droplet gonna negate our negate, meaning a Yugioh will be summoned from the deck. And we're out of interaction. We have nothing else. We are at the mercy of Yugioh. Yugioh Spirit. Adding an Eternal Favorite. Opponent activating opening of the Spirit Gate. Getting back the Nightmare Pain. But they already activated this turn. So opponent's combo was disrupted. Opponent discarding. Getting the Samsara D Lotus, but they may have thought that they could activate this Nightmare Pain. They forgot that they had activated already and it had been popped. So opponent, all they have is a Spirit of Yugioh attacking us. And they are going to summon nothing and scoop it up. Afraid our negates are too powerful. Budget. Budget does it. Budget does it. You see it happening. Let's go on to the next game. On to the next game. We are going first. We got that Pot of Extravagance. Thankfully, we don't need very much of our extra deck, so we're happy to banish 6. You're kind of just hoping you don't banish all 3 of your Heralds in case you are able. All 3 of your Heralds or all 3 of your Dynamondos. In case you draw the Send to the Graveyard card. Opponent. Ash Blossoming. Alright. Well, happy to Ash Blossom that instead of the pre-preparation of Brights. Let's activate pre-preparation. Add our Skull Guardian to the hand. Opponent maxing us. Great thing about this deck, it actually plays around Maxi quite well. Only needs to special summon once. You special summon your Ritual Monster, you normal summon low, and you're doing okay. Get our Skull Guardian. Let's activate our Prayers. Tributing our Tenyi Spirit. Summon that Skull Guardian. Opponent draws 1 card. Activate the effect. Search for the low. A low. Summon yourself. Search for a Radiance. Radiance gonna shuffle to add to the hand a Saphra. And we're gonna send. We're gonna end the turn. All right. We got our second secret Radiance. We got our negate. We got our pop 2. Accidentally activated this. All right. Didn't want to do that. The opponent with the Harpy Feather Duster. Now, I don't want to negate this, alright, because we know opponent's playing a deck that has things that it can do. We want to save our negate to stop their plays. So we're going to Radiance first mode. Shuffle a Ritual Monster to special summon, but opponent Ash Blossom. Ash Blossom part 2. Alright. 2 Ash Blossoms, 2 Maxis. Wiping the back row. We still got our Omni negate though. Opponent, emergency call, searching for an elemental hero, Stratos. I am negating that so quickly. Stratos, negate, and destroy. And hope they have nothing else. They used their normal summon. They used 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces of interaction, and opponent, it wasn't enough. Budget, Voiceless voice, cooking opponent's heroes. Love to see it. Let's go on to the next game. On to the next game. Pre-preparation of rights. Great card. Great card. Add our things to the hand. Get our Prayers. Get our Skull Guardian. This is showing off why the Tenyi is so valuable. Opponent Maxine us. I don't care about no Maxi. Tenyi so valuable, just tribute fodder. Alright, and you can special summon it to do a Link plays. That's why it's in our budget version of the deck. You would never play this in non-budget though. Skull Guardian. Get searching for our low. Normal summon the low. Opponent drew 1 card with Maxi. Get our Guardian, since we already have the Radiance in hand. Summoning Dynamondo here, in retrospect, not actually that good. Alright, we gave opponent an extra card for free and made ourselves super vulnerable to anything. Alright, they could finger us. They could have you know, the Cyframe gear. We're giving them cards for no reason. But we get to add back our Prayers. We get to set our Imperm. We get to special summon. Opponent has the second Maxi. Yeah, maybe they drew into that second maxi from our summon of the Dynamondo. But it's all good. We get Skull Guardian back. Low sees it being summoned. It's going to summon itself, giving opponent 2 additional cards. Opponent Pot of Greed. Radiance activating by accident. Opponent Pot of Extravagance. Are we going to negate this? No. We're going to negate their plays. We're going to use Radiance right now. Why? We could use it to pop, but instead, we're going to use it to add a Saffron to the hand. That is not sensible, alright? We shouldn't have done that. That was a big misplay. I'm going to be honest, alright? This was a game early in the testing of this deck, and I still had not mastered the gameplay elements yet. Opponent, getting Fossil Fusion. Alright, we're going to save our negate for that. We still got Imperm to carry our poor dueling skill. We're going to negate Fossil Fusion. That's the plan. Opponent sending Skull Guardian to the graveyard. I don't know why they did that. Getting a Gaia Plate. Activating Fossil Fusion. Get negated. No Fossil Fusion. Any deck that's playing Fossil Fusion, if you negate Fossil Fusion, I'm sure they have no follow-up. Gaia Plate is here. We're going to tribute our negate to summon a Saffron. Saffron is going to draw 2 and discard a card. Opponent going to battle. Hitting our low. Opponent normal summoning Flint Krager. Burning us. I don't know what happened there. But we get to Saffron and add back our low to the hand. Opponent. We drew Saffron part 2. We can get back our Skull Guardian. We can low. We can activate Saffron. We can ritual summon. Get our negate live. We got big boosting attack points. Let's get Skull Guardian. Low, come back. Come back to us low. We can special summon our dragon. Opponent negating. We could negate this, but what if opponent has like Nibiru or some Rock Guardian effect I don't know about? We're gonna let this go. Let this one go. Wait, hold on. I should have negated that because now we just lose attack and also we're negated, so we can't negate something. Alright, see, you know what we're learning? We're learning, but it's fine. We'll tribute it. We don't need you anymore. Summon Saffra. Saffra. Draw 2, discard a card. We got Ash Blossom now. Let's shuffle things into the graveyard to summon our big dragon boy. Let's boost the attack points. That's a lot of damage. Pop your monster. 10,000 damage to the face. Alright, maybe playing sloppy. But I am playing budget. I think I've shown you the value of the budget Voiceless Voice with 3 ultra rares. Let's go to the deck list. Alright, here's the deck before you roast me in the comments, okay? That's so many SRs. Alright. The point of a budget deck is the minimum number of ultra rares, because these are the hardest thing to get in the game. The SRs, okay, this is stuff you can swap for other things, alright? I designed this deck to be the most consistent with the fewest number of archetype URs as possible. So don't complain in the comments that it's not budget because there's too many SRs, because SRs are pretty easy to get, and these are not like mandatory. Obviously, if you're trying to build Voiceless Voice, you can swap in as many ultra rares of Voiceless Voice as you have, and it's going to make the deck miles better, okay? Every additional ultra rare probably improves the deck by like 20% in power level, alright? So, let's go with the deck list. We got Psyframe Driver, our 1-up brick. Never draw this. Just be good at Yu-Gi-Oh! And don't draw this. We got Effect Veiler. We got our 1 low. We got 2 Psyframe Gear Gammas. We got 2 Psyframe Gear Deltas. Okay, I felt that these are pretty good. In current meta, people are activating spells. You can negate their spells with a Psyframe. Also, makes the brick less bricky when we have 4 things we can draw that make this not a brick. So, alright, that's how it works. Ash Blossom, we got 1 from the bundle. We got Saffra. That's our second ultra rare. We got Tenyi Spirit Ashuna. I was not confident on how many of these is the best to run. It's probably about the same value as a hand trap, with the preparation of rights, being able to search for a level 7, and the Tenyi Spirit Ashuna summon not really mattering too much. Probably some number of Tenyi Spirit Ashunas is fine, but you don't want to run too many of these because it's really just here to be fodder for your ritual summons. Savras, ×2. Normally this deck plays only 1 Savras when the non-budget version. I don't want to play too many Savras because it is kind of bricky in the hand, but having 2 is nice because if you use it, you have a second one you can summon from the deck. This card also has an effect. Alright, if opponent activates an effect, you can return this card to the hand to special summon a ritual monster. So you can special summon your Skull Guardian. So if you happen to have your low and you have your Savras on the field, you can summon it and get your Skull Guardian. So if your low's in the graveyard, it comes back, you get your Skull Guardian, you have your negate live. That's kind of the play. We got one Nibiru from the bundle. We got Sapphic Queen of Dragons. Alright, this I didn't realize, but this is kind of the glue that holds the budget deck together. So this spell here, alright, it names this card. It names this Sapphic Queen of Dragons card. So if you happen to hard draw your Skull Guardian and you draw a pre-preparation of Rites, you can still activate it to search for Saphra and the prayers. And that is like a huge reason why we're running this card. Because normally, if you have multiple Skull Guardians, you have 3 Skull Guardians in your deck, this is never a problem. But when we're only running 1, if you draw this and you draw a pre-prep, you're crying because you can't activate. So that's why we have the Saphra. Also, you can use it like in the gameplays I show you. Use it, make them discard a card. And also, this has a floating effect. What's the floating effect? It says that if a light ritual monster leaves the field by opponent's card effect, you can banish this from your graveyard and special summon Sapphic Queen of Dragons, or 2 ultra rares. So if you have the ultra rares, those are better. But if you don't have the ultra rares, or maybe you're playing budget, I think 1 Sapphic Queen of Dragons is actually fine. Honestly, might even be possible to play this in the non-budget version of the deck. But it's definitely worse than having a billion ultra rares. So that's just how things go. Skull Guardian, our 3rd ultra rare. Alright, our 3rd ultra rare. I think the reason Konami made this, we'll talk about that later. I think Konami made this deck have so many ultra rares is because it's a main deck. It doesn't play the extra. So if you're playing this as a new player, you only need the main deck cards. The extra deck stuff's not as important. We got triple Saphra Divine Dragon of the Voiceless Voice. Alright, this one's a level 7 ritual. It's good. Draws cards, discards cards. When you attack, makes opponent discard. Kind of like the upgrade version of this. But it's not named on this ritual spell. So that's why it's not as good. We got triple preparation of Rites to search for our Skull Guardian, or search for a Saphra, or search for a little Saphra. Just as ritual material usually, or as combo play. We got triple pre-preparation of Rites. This is the best starter in the deck. Draw this, draw the ritual spell. Any level 7 is going to let you do the combo. We got triple extra Foolish Burial. This lets you add either the ritual monster or the ritual spell, or like I said, you can send Fossil Warriors to the graveyard to pop a spell or pop a monster. So it's pretty good. It does cost half your life points. Does mean you can't set cards, but definitely worth running on the budget list. We got Pot Extravagance. We got Pot of Prosperity. These are consistency cards. We're not really caring about the extra deck too much, so we can play both pots and not be afraid. Alright, improve our budget consistency. I think the non-budget versions actually play this as well, both of these. We got triple Prayers of the Voiceless Voice. We got the Blessing of the Voiceless Voice. We got 2 evenly matched. We got the Imperm, and we got triple of the Radiance. Radiance, really, really good in the budget version because you can use it to search and summon low, which kind of turns the deck online. So it is a bit slow being a trap. The non-budget list only plays this at 1 or 2, but its pop effect, its search effect are really amazing. We got 1 Guardian of the Voiceless Voice. This one is okay for getting lethal, but otherwise not that great. So that's why we're running that 1. In the extra, we got the 2 Fossil Warriors I talked about. They're just targets for the extra Foolish, and I guess random banishes for pots. We got the Herald of the Arclights at 3. We don't want to banish all of these, and we use them to send to search. Very important. Stardust Spark Dragon. You can replace this with any ultra rare SR and it will be better, but I'm playing budget, so it's fine. Baron de Fleur. Hey, wait a minute. This isn't from a bundle. This is an ultra rare. Well, first off, I didn't summon this in any of the games, and also I think this is the most owned card in Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel after SP Little Knight, which is also an ultra rare. But I think everyone and their mom has a copy of SP Little Knight in this game, so these 2 don't count as budget for that reason. But I mean, you don't need them, and I didn't summon the Baron. I summoned Little Knight, but you know, 1 Little Knight's not that bad. We got 2 Monk of the Tenus. Why are these even in here? They're banished. They're things we can use to summon Tenyu Spirit Ashuna into the graveyard, and they don't really do anything. So you can swap these for literally anything. You can swap these. These are not necessary at all. Psyframe Lambda. Sometimes you have extra bodies and you have a Psyframe in the hand. Okay, you can link away the extra bodies, and now your Psyframe traps in the hand, your hand traps, are activatable even if you control monsters. That is why we have this. If you're playing extra copies of this, you have extra budget, you can just mandel these and play more of this. But really, you should probably just play extra deck monsters that matter, that you could maybe possibly synchro into. Like, hold on. This is my big advice recommendation, pro tip. All right. Axel Synchro Stardust Dragon. Axel Synchro Stardust Dragon, you summon the tuner back, and then you go into a 10, you go Baron. So that turns your Psyframe Gear Delta and your Psyframe Gear Gamma into a 10, which is nice. Alright, we got Tri Brigade Farragut. We're not playing Tri Brigade, we don't even have Beast Warriors. Why are we playing this? It's because if it's sent to the graveyard, you can draw a card and place a card from your hand on the bottom of your deck. It's looting, alright? It's looting, desperate looting with the extra Foolish Burial. If you're having a copy of Garura, this Garura is strictly better because it just draws a card when it's sent to the graveyard. So Garura strictly better. We got triple of the Dynamondo. This card, you can use it as removal. It also gets you extra material advantage going first. Although this combo is so vulnerable, I always was so scared when I did this. Made the Dynamondo and then resummon my Skull Guardian and the low because his finger is a nightmare. SP Low Knight, we talked about it, it's budget. Alright, that's the budget deck list. There's potential this deck is good enough to get banned in the future. So if you're watching this in the future and you want to know, oh my god, like what do I do if this card is hit, right? What do I do if the ritual spell is hit? What do I do if the Zafra is hit? What do I do if the Radiance is hit? Like a potential, I mean, I don't know what Konami's going to do. But what do you do in this case? You just play more Ultra Rares. Okay, I'm sorry to tell you this in the future, but you had many months to collect this deck. So hopefully at this point you can craft some Ultra Rares and you'll be good. Yeah, let me know if you like the video. Let me know what budget decks you want to see me build next. Or if you want to see me go back to Fish, just let me know. Thanks for watching. Hope you liked the video. And I'll see you next time. Have a good night.